Hey, friends, welcome to an Area 312 block party. And we are delighted today. We are welcoming our friend Jamie Rowe, as you know, from Guardian, from London Calling, from Calamity Kills coming out. The solo album, This Is Home. And how about AdrianGale? The list goes on. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Amongst friends.
That's right.
Yes.
So, friends, today, you might have heard of a game called Stump the Trump. Well, we're going to play a version called Rock the Row. We've got a little trivia that we're going to do. And Jamie, of course, is an aficionado of all things rock and roll. Actually, 2 shots of country, 3 shots of rock. Isn't that right, buddy?
Shake it up and add a little splash of pop. Yeah. I thought that was so clever. Just whatever. I think this is cool. Like, yeah, whatever.
Friends, go to jamierowe.com, his website, and correct me if I'm wrong on the title there, Jamie, but you'll see when you click on it, it says 2 shots of country, 3 shots of rock, and I thought it was cool. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's really what it was. And it was country, but I thought the rock element was predominant. But I guess for my hardcore people who really enjoy my music, I think it was a little too country for them. But I still love the record. So
it's great, buddy. And Joel, Jeremy, Mike. By the way, friends, Jamie, and then we have our brother Jeremy, as you know, from Torrential Riff. Welcome again, Jeremy. It's great to have you. Joel, great to have you, buddy, from Imaginary Music. And I will certainly post the links, friends, down below for Jamie, Joel, and Jeremy. And as you know, friends, we only have special guests whose names start with J. So
apparently.
Anyway,
when's Jesus coming on the show soon?
That's right.
Rock the Row, friends. We're going to do a little trivia with Jamie today, and we're going to let Jamie pick the categories. We're going to see if Mike or Jeremy or Joel can stump Jamie. And Rex, if you don't mind, whenever I ask the question, we need, if they know the answer, to raise their hand, and you call on whoever's hand you see first. So,
okay.
But Jamie, right here. And friends, stick around, because after we play Rock the Row, we're gonna talk about Jamie's forthcoming release, Calamity Kills. So stick around for that. Jamie, we have some different areas of trivia. The first one is Striper trivia, because we know you love that band.
I do.
Our second category to choose from will be Guardian and Jamie Rowe trivia.
Mm-hmm.
And our third category is going to be general rock and roll trivia. And then the final category we can choose from is albums and authors. So does any one of those tickle your fancy at the moment, Jamie?
I like Striper. Any kind of Striper stuff's fun.
All right. So Joel, Jeremy, Michael, does anybody want to take up Jeremy on a little bit of Striper trivia?
You want to take Jamie? You talking about taking on Jamie?
Yeah, you got to rock the road, man.
Okay. You said Jeremy, so I was confused. Make sure. I got you.
Okay. So this round, friends, is Striper trivia between Joel and Jamie. So Jamie,
Michael, did you? I'm sorry, Michael said he did. I mean, I'll do it, but I'd love to do it. But Michael's.
No, I just want to know if we have to answer in the form of a question.
Not Jeopardy.
Who is Richard Martinez?
Oh man, Ozfox.
What is Oz's middle name?
Reginald Martinez Jackson.
Jamie's going to kill us.
No, it's not. I thought it was Alfonso.
I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea.
Leroy Brown.
No.
So you don't have to answer in the form of a question. This round is Striper trivia between Jamie and Joel. So Jamie and Joel, I will ask the question. Just simply raise your hand. Rex will call on you, whichever hand he sees first. So the best, we got 10 questions here. So you ready for question number 1?
Sure.
All right. The name of Robert Sweet's drum solo on the Rocks Regime demos.
Joel.
It was Tank. The Tank.
That's correct. That's correct.
I didn't know the title of it, but I remember that. I remember that. Yes.
All right. Here we go. Question number. I can't put just J because everybody's the J today. The surname of original bassist Timothy Gaines.
Timothy Hoggles.
Jamie, Timothy Hoggles.
Not know that.
That German name there.
Yes.
In 1990, Striper released Shining Star as their leadoff single.
Who are you asking now? Oh, back to Joel or what?
The answer is going to be Randy Jackson.
All right.
Is that where you're going?
No.
Ah,
In 1990, Stryper released Shining Stars, their leadoff single, which was a major 1975 hit.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
ow!
Jamie.
I'm just going to shout it out. I'm not giving a hand.
I'm not playing by the rules, am I? Sorry.
Rex has got to see the hand, okay? Or Rex, if they just shout it out, just let me know who shouts it out loudest, okay?
Okay.
So, the quote
And
hits.
I met those guys for the first time a week before they shot that video. That
You're
was when I
talking
first-
Striper?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Striper.
told the story about that.
Yeah.
About them rehearsing for the
Yeah,
video,
they were
right?
rehearsing for the video. Yes. And Robert was hand painting his drums and striping him in his living room. I thought that was really cool. So
You know, it's pretty amazing the things you find out about Robert, like his creativity and everything he does,
Mhm.
like behind the scenes. I mean, it's pretty astounding the stuff that Robert had come up with, you know?
yeah.
Robert wanted to make, and this was a story I heard from Michael Feehan, that he wanted to have cymbal stands that when he hit them would bounce back and then bounce. They would almost like bounce and then
Wow.
come back at him and kind of be like this on like a hinge or something. So that was his next thing until the band broke up, apparently.
Mm.
So it's
All right.
super creative.
So, Joel, you're behind, buddy, by one. According to their 1985 song Surrender, what explains so well what we're called to do?
Sing out in harmony.
Davey, in 1987, these three video singles from To Hell with the Devil placed at #1 and #2 on the Dial MTV countdown.
3 and Calling on You.
And honestly,
Who did you see, Rex?
Joel, I think, was first.
we're just going, Jamie can win. He's the superstar here. I mean, it's,
What you
Joel,
got, Joel? What you
Joel, I
got?
highly
well, I
doubt
mean,
that
yeah, he
I
gave
know
two,
anything
but
more than you do.
honestly, Free and Calling on You.
Yes. All right. We'll give that one to Joel here. All right. So it's 3 to Jamie, 2 to Joel. So To Hell with the Devil remained the best-selling Christian metal album until this 2001 release.
POD. Boom. Sorry. Or whatever it was. Satellite. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. I'll get the hand thing. I'm sorry. I'm just.
For his 2000 solo release, Love Trash, Robert Sweet tapped this artist to sing lead vocals. Joel.
Larry
Joel.
Worley.
To date, this is the only Stryper song credited to all 4 members of the band.
Good one.
Man, I don't know.
I don't think I know. I'd have to say it.
You know what?
Now,
they do?
now, when you say 4, you say, is that original members, the first members, or members now?
Well, I'm thinking original members, but honestly, it's applicable all the way across the board.
Man, to be fair, I really don't know.
It'd have
What
to
did
be
you
something
say
from
the first time, Jamie?
You know what to do?
That's the answer.
Is it right?
It
For
is.
some reason, I thought of that, but it's something I really know.
Rex, do we give Jamie the point for that? Yeah, let's give it.
Yeah.
Courtesy.
I'll just
point.
give it to him.
You got it right.
I'm just waiting
This
for the
musician
Benadryl to
was
kick in
the-
so I can get some green tone back into my skin. It's all red.
I saw red.
Dude,
All
I'm a. Oh, dude. Okay.
Go
Can I get
ahead.
some? The person that Janie wrote that song about, Becca Bramlett, sang with Faster Pussycat last night when I saw him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We need to get Jamie to sing that song, man. That's an awesome song.
Yeah.
This musician was the long-standing drummer for 17 years for John Cougar Mellencamp and performed drums on Stryper's 2009.
Jamie's got it by a hair.
No, but Joel's a drummer, so give it to him because we both know this. Say it on the count of 3.
Oh, man.
1, 2, 3. Kenny Aronoff.
Yeah. You got it, man.
Okay.
Who do I give the
It's
point
okay.
to, Rex?
No, he said it. He's got it. I had the last name. I was going to say the wrong last name anyway. So I knew it was Kenny, but I couldn't remember I was thinking.
Okay. This was one among many hits of Stryper bassist Perry Richardson's former band Firehouse, so it's multiple choice. This was one among many hits of Stryper bassist Perry Richardson's former band Firehouse. Was it A, Up All Night, B, Don't Treat Me Bad. C,
Joel.
Sometimes She Cries. D, In
B.
My Dreams. Who you got,
B.
Rex?
It's B.
That's
It's
right.
Joel.
Yeah, B.
Don't Treat Me Bad.
Firehouse.
Sing a few bars, Joel.
Don't treat me bad.
There you go. No one wants to hear me. Jamie's on the show. Jamie, all songs go to you.
Okay. Here's a 2-point bonus question. That was the last of the 1 through 10s. Here's a bonus 2-pointer. The name of the 1976 country hit, co-written by Michael and Robert
Jamie.
Phil Sweet. Jamie.
I don't want to have to marry you.
All right. Let's.
Yeah.
Jamie has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
won.
6, 7.
I think I won. Did I win?
I was gonna say, is this gonna be like a South Korea or North Korea thing where Kim Jong Un or whatever wins everything just because? Oh, he's our guest. Let him win.
Joel got 4, and Jamie actually has 8 because that last one was a 2-pointer. So
Not worthy.
good job, Jamie. Good job, Joel. Anybody up for another round of something else?
Always.
Rock the roll. Rock the roll. So, Jamie, do you want to do Guardian/Jamie trivia?
You can. I was in that band.
Good luck, whoever's going against him on that one.
General rock and roll trivia or albums and authors?
When you say albums and authors, what do you mean? Like book authors?
I will give, and we have actually 2 subcategories of that. Not to make a distinction, but just for the proper frame of mind. There's mainstream and or Christian. I would give the name of the album, and you all have to guess the name of the band that produced it, that put that
Oh,
out.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's good.
So
I
did
can
you want?
when you said something about authors, I'm going to tell you something. A lady at Epic Records told me there was a guy named Razor Ray up in Portland, Maine, had a radio show, and for some reason he played Miracle Mile like on the Epic side of things. And Razor Ray came out to the show and told me that Stephen King would call and request Curiosity Killed the Cat.
Nice.
Wow.
So now here's the thing. I've never found this out directly from Stephen King, but Razor Ray, the DJ, told me that to my face. So we'll see. So for some reason he liked that song. So
That album that you have behind you, Kent, you heard the story about that hair he's got.
I have not. Is this an exclusive that we can find on Imaginary Music?
Yeah, I guess.
yeah, I cut my hair right before I joined the band. So that's actually a wig. We
Oh,
rented
really?
it. We rented it for $50 at a wig shop in Santa Ana and took it back like after the shoot. And then because we shot, I'm thinking around August, I think we shot the album cover, and then it didn't come out till things. So by the time that come out, I fluffed it out with extensions for like the Fire and Love tour. And then after that was it. But no, dude, somewhere along there was a wig that went, that's my real hair.
Is this all natural too, or what?
That's natural. The Fire and Love is not. And you can look at the texture, you can see it's like a girl's cut, and it's like really long. And somebody, we rented that, so somebody else rented it afterwards. So somebody else had that hair. Have no idea it's on the cover of a record,
So who
That's a
wanted
famous
that,
wig.
Jamie? Was it John and Dino? Said, "Hey, we gotta have you with hair," or
No, all of us, even myself and stuff. We all knew. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like the thing. But like I said, I'd cut it like shoulder length, and I dyed it purple, like black purple. So I almost looked like I was in The Cure. And then I joined Guardian. I remember like Tony like looking at me like, yeah. And I remember they were talking about Kyle, Mike Sweet's wife, was going to work on me and stuff, like get my image stuff together and everything. And then they just realized like, wait a minute, because at first we were going to bleach blonde it and do the whole like LA rock thing. And I actually think it was Dino or somebody said like, dude, Jamie's got red hair. He's gonna be a character. He's gonna stand out. You're gonna make him look like every other singer out there. This way, it's something different. So we just, did that thing, and I wore a wig for a weekend, and then like I said, I wore extensions. I used to take these, they were clip-ins, and I used to take them out and like put them around the front and like be a long beard. And I'd be the prophet. So we'd be after the show, and people would notice like we're in the van, like Johnny saying, I'm like, behold, the end is near, and I got that thing around. Always had fun with it.
Rick Nielsen of Cheap Trick.
Yes.
I saw them. Oh, it was probably circa. It was in the late '90s. I've seen them a few times. Cheap Trick's always a fun band, but Rick Nielsen had a long goatee at this time, and at the end of his goatee, he had a price tag sticking out of it, like Minnie Pearl wore on her hat. He had it weaved in his goatee. So there was this tag dangling down out of his goatee.
And everybody gets summer rain. There's sometimes more than their share of pain. And sometimes life can't be explained. And so we pray to be better off than yesterday. Better off than yesterday.
Jamie, did you want albums and authors or
Yeah,
general?
let's do that.
Here we go. Big game.
White line.
Oh.
Sorry, hand.
Yeah, you got it.
Thunder in the East.
Loudness. Sorry.
Just take us off the screen.
Intuition.
TNT.
Back for the Attack.
Docking.
Go.
Who's going to win?
Out of the Cellar.
Rat.
Come
We
on,
gotta, do
Jeremy.
we gotta do Christian after this too. Though.
That's the
We
first
will,
one I
we
would've
will.
known.
Yeah, we'll do both.
Because I know
Yeah, that's
Jeremy
first
knows, man. He's,
Oh, I know all these answers.
well,
Jeremy's got a
you're,
quick mind.
you know that you're the one that's up against Jamie right now, right?
Right. I'm raising my hand, but it's he's beating me to the punch.
Okay. Rex, if you see Jeremy's hand first,
I'm trying. I got my hand like right here, just to go like this.
Oh,
Long Cold Winter.
Oh. You got it.
that's Jamie.
I'm gonna wait till I'm called. Okay.
Who is it, Jamie?
Cinderella.
Okay. Absolutely love Tom Kiefer, man. Golly, such a great man.
And that's a great album, actually.
Yeah,
That
that's a
Bad
pretty
Seems-
depthy record.
well, Bad Seamstress Blues. I love that song. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry I got on a.
No. Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich.
Warren.
Jamie.
War Ants.
Out of This World.
Europe.
Jamie.
Golly, Jamie, that's awesome, dude. Oh, okay.
I loved 80s metal.
Oh, me
I
too.
loved it. I mean, it was like the fact that I loved it, and a band like Stryper came along that, that made me take my religious Christian school experience serious.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, I loved it, man.
That was really, there's no other time for me either, Jamie. To me, that the 80s was the best period for, music like that.
I still like a lot of 90s rock. I still like Smashing Pumpkins and like my buddy Don, well, Joel Donovan, like
Mhm.
Vertical Horizon. I still love all that stuff too,
Yeah.
So, but I love me some La Guns.
La Guns.
Oh,
How about Fair Warning?
Van Halen, but that's a few. Sorry, that's a few different ones. So there's a few that has fair warning. So
Was that Jamie, Rex?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
blurted it out. I don't know if
Last one of the mainstream titles. Come Out and Play. Jamie.
Twisted Sister. 1985 Atlantic Records. If you'd like to know.
By a margin, that was Jamie. All right, Jeremy, you're still
Who
in.
won?
Okay, we're
Who
gonna
won?
let's do some Christian oriented titles, okay, as we think of them. So here we go. Jeremy and Jamie. In Your Face.
Jamie.
That was close.
Yeah.
Was it Shout or Ken Tampa?
Shout.
Do you know?
I think it's Shout.
Shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Face it in your face. Yep.
Ready? Too Late for Living.
Jamie.
Saint. And the first one was Times In with the demon possessed McDonald's French fry guys on the cover.
It does look
Fry
like
guys.
those guys,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yes.
The Fry Guys is what they were
Yes.
called.
The French fry guys. Yeah.
Silent Screams.
Oh,
I saw
Jeremy.
Reds.
Very good. All right.
I was going to be wrong. I was going to say Salon.
Really?
I was going to be wrong. Yes. For some reason, I thought that was the name of the record. So
Here we go. Rise Up.
Jamie.
Daniel Van.
Oh yeah, I never really followed them.
Jeremy, you never followed Daniel Band?
I have not.
I don't think we can be friends. I'm teasing, buddy. I'm teasing, buddy.
Fuck.
I'm doing the riff.
There's a ton of music that we just
Yeah.
have to cut to.
They were one of the very, in fact, after Petra being the very first Christian rock I ever heard, if we want to say Christian rock,
Mhm.
Daniel Band was the next band that I ever heard. And then after Daniel Band was Striper. But anywho,
Well, Jeremy, now you know which albums you need to review.
Yeah, there's always something that's out there you haven't listened to. So it's always a band.
listen to On Rock. Anyway, or Run from the Darkness. Here we go. Out of the Darkness.
Jeremy.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Blood good, yeah.
Triumphant Return.
Jamie.
White Cross. It's right behind Jeremy's head.
Yep, it's right there.
Here we go. Search and Destroy.
Oh wow. Oh, is
Jeremy.
that Philadelphia?
Very good. Yes.
Oh!
I again, that's a band I haven't listened to.
Yes. With the pencil drawing cover. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I remember that. The first one was my favorite, the Tell the Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just bought one of their CDs off of eBay.
I just shoplifted one from the store down the street.
Silence is Madness.
Jamie.
Right.
Classic album, man. Here we go. Rock the Flock.
Jamie.
Messiah Prophet Band.
See, on my screen, my hand was raised first.
Really?
Hey
Yeah.
guys, my daughter is coming in from Indiana. She just walked in the door, so I might give her a hug here in a
Sure.
second. So,
Yeah.
Madeline, come be on my podcast for 2 seconds.
We'll say hi to
Ladies and
Matt.
gentlemen, this is my daughter, Maddie Pedro.
Hey, Manny.
Hi, Madeline.
Hello.
They're all saying hi to you.
Hi.
Hey, babe. Safe travels.
Yeah,
Are you going to Mama Judy's with us?
I think so.
Great.
Maybe not with you, but we'll drive separate.
That's great. Okay. Hey, Abby.
I was-
I did.
I
Okay.
was waiting for
I'm
her to
back
say
in.
you
All
look
right.
red. She's like, you
I
look
do.
red, Dad.
She probably like, Dad, it's okay.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Hold on.
You're
We got more paparazzi here.
And you're shoplifting Philadelphia CDs. Hang on, let me get my cat over here. Look at me like I have something going on. I'm gonna get my cat in the video.
Okay. All right, guys. I promise you no more distractions.
That's funny because
That's all good, man. This is cool.
we're like cutting it up with Jamie, Jamie the rock and roller, and then all of a sudden he's got to take time out to be Jamie the dad.
Dude, I'll tell you, I promise you, I'm dad 99.9% of the time, maybe rock mode 0.1.
You just have one kid? You have more than one kid?
No, I've got 4
Oh wow.
Yeah. that I know of. That's a cliche. No, my youngest is 12 and she was just here. She'll be 13 next month, but Madeline is 21 and my daughter Caitlin is 25 and my son Christian is 27. Wow. So, yeah. Good kids. Really good kids. I
Awesome.
love all my kids.
I've got 2 myself, and that's why I have no hair and gray down here just from stress. It's like,
Well, I'd be great, but I have that just for men sprinkled on there pretty good. So, yeah.
Spray
Now, wait
can.
a second, guys.
Not
This wasn't real as we found out. I'm wondering
Yeah.
if this is real on Jamie.
on me. No, it's not. Actually, I just shaved it off. You saw I had the little mountain man beard going. And it's just, but one day I was driving a car, I was doing like a little Facebook thing or something like that. And it was like blowing around. I realized it was all thin and wispy. I was like, okay, that's enough of that. So
Shoot.
looked like a little fucking scarecrow.
You already get your chest too? Narrowed that up?
I'm actually gonna get a tattoo here, if that's what you're talking about. I'm gonna do that. It is gonna happen.
Kent, you got so much editing, buddy.
No, let it go, man.
What do you, if I can ask Jamie, if you want to tell, what are you going to get tattooed there?
I don't know yet exactly.
Striper.
I just know
Striper.
I like, yeah. No, dude, I'm gonna get imaginary music featuring Joel
Yeah.
Walker. That's what I'm getting on there, man.
On Spotify and iTunes.
No. No, I don't, Rex. I don't know what I'm going to get, but I want a cool artsy piece right through here.
Okay.
So, but we shall see. And it's not something I want to do immediately, but it's going to happen. I'll probably get like amber.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I'll probably do it backwards and like and everything and just mess it up.
Rimba.
Last one, guys. Last one here of the albums and offers.
Forgot we're playing.
Here we go. Setting Fire to the Earth.
Jamie.
Leviticus.
Again, it's a band I don't.
11 tickets.
So let's see here.
We could have gone deep and like.
I don't think you need to do.
Dead Dual Edge.
I don't think you need to do
I
math here,
have that.
Kent.
I have that on cassette.
Do you
I
really?
think that was the very yes. I have.
Oh, knock 'em alive. Dude, I loved that record. That was like Poison Light to me.
Yeah.
And I really like glam and stuff. There was like a whole lot of like Christian glam, you know what I mean?
So, am I mistaken, Jamie? I mean, wasn't that the very first release issued on Intense Records?
Yes, you're right. Susan Kalinowski.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love that dude too, man. I don't know whatever happened to him too. He's a
What
great guy.
was what's the band? What's the album you guys are talking about?
Dual Edge, and the record was called Knock 'Em Alive. And I remember it had like a hand drawn, like a almost like a cartoon of the band.
Well, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
It's kind of a burnt
it would've
orange
been-
colored cover.
It would have been about 87 or 88, I think, because I
Okay.
remember when Tempest played Cornerstone in 89.
Uh-huh.
I was getting ready to leave, and the drummer introduced himself, and I was like flipped out, like no way, you were not. And I think he was kind of surprised, you know. I was like, no, dude, I love that band. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
Electric, do you remember Electric? Tracy Ferry was in that for a while too. The local LA band out of Sanctuary. I love those guys too, man. There's a lot of cool stuff that a lot of people-
Tracy's been in some bands, man.
Yeah,
I mean, he was in White Cross.
Yeah.
For a while.
he was in Guardian for like 2
Soraya?
months.
He was
Yeah.
in Guardian.
For 2 months, right after Dave got off the road and stuff. He was the fill-in, and he left us because he got the Rebecca St. James gig. And to be honest, I was mad at him about that. You know what I mean? At the time, so now he's, you know, we're totally cool. It's like he's given me Boston tickets like twice in the last couple of years. So it's so cool to see him up there with those guys.
Yep.
Tracy's a great guy.
Yep.
If you ever get Tracy on any of your shows, guys, ask him about his experience with Kiss in 1977.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah, that's like the coolest Kiss story you can ever imagine. Like, you know, he ended up staying in the same hotel with them, and they were based out a week, and like jumping off Gene Simmons' shoulders into the pool and stuff. Like, had all their home addresses. He ordered merchandise. He'd send like twice the merch and send his money back to him. It's really cool. So
Wow.
yeah, that didn't happen to me.
That reminds me.
I couldn't
I'm
even
still-
spend $5 to join the Kiss Army. That's how poor I was. But you know what I mean? So
And I'm still mad at Kiss for that because circa 1978, 79, I sent my $5 in to join and I never got a thing. Anywho,
not cool.
come on, Ace. Are you feeling saucy, Mike, with some general rock and roll trivia?
Sure, why not?
Jeez, calm down.
All right. So this friend's general rock and roll trivia. This is Jamie versus Mike. So far, Jamie's undefeated. Let's see if Mike can top him. Here we go. In 1970, Paul Rogers had a hit with this band before joining Bad Company. Mike.
Wait, never mind. I thought you were going toward Bad Company. So I don't know.
Are you talking about Free?
That's it. Yeah.
Was it all right now?
Song. All right. I didn't read the name of the song, but you got it anyway, Jamie. All
Okay.
Right Now was the big
Yeah.
hit. In 1966, he was labeled a Judas by his audience for switching from acoustic to electric guitar.
Jamie.
Bob Dylan.
Do that one.
Before hitting it big with his own band in the States, circa 1987, this vocalist replaced Ian Gillan on Deep Purple's 1974 Burn album.
Jamie.
Was that Glenn Hughes? Oh, David Coverdale. Sorry.
Very good.
But Glenn Hughes played bass in that lineup, right?
Sir?
Glenn Hughes was the bass player in that lineup.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
David was the primary vocalist, and he had, of course, the lower timbre, and then Glenn, of course, as we know, right? But he came on board too, because Roger Glover left when Ian left Deep Purple.
Gotcha.
Yep. Beginning with 1983's Pyromania album, Phil Collen replaced this former Def Leppard guitarist.
Jamie.
His name's Pete, right? It wasn't Pete Way, though.
No. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Well, does Mike know it?
I should, but I can't think of it.
Rex.
Go ahead, Rex.
Pete Willis. Wasn't it Pete Willis?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A standout track on Kiss's 1979 Dynasty album, 2000 Man was originally written and recorded by
Jamie.
Rolling Stones.
A, the Beatles, B, the Kinks, C, the Animals, D, the Rolling Stones. All right. At the beginning of David Bowie's Space Oddity, what was Major Tom instructed to do by ground control?
Buy the new Calamity Kills on September 2nd. I don't know.
Does it take something? You put something on?
That's it, Joel.
Take your protein pills and put your helmet on?
Yeah.
Did you know that, Jamie?
No. But I probably would know the Peter Schilling Major Tom tribute track a little bit better than that, to be honest.
Okay. Are you not a Bowie? Are you
sorry?
not a Bowie fan, Jamie?
No, I like it, but I really like the Peter Schilling stuff. No, I love Bowie
Funny
stuff.
thing
Yeah.
about that, you know, I've heard the song like a zillion times,
Uh-huh.
but when you put me on the spot like that, I'm like,
Yeah.
huh?
Like the major line that runs in my head when I hear that song.
A former MIT engineer, this famous musician
Jamie.
Tom Schultz, Boston.
developed the Rockman headphone guitar amplifier.
Yep.
Mike Tiff, do
The
you want to
ones,
know?
the ones I know, I thought I beat him on that Bob Dylan one, but Rex
And
said it was
Gary Phil, or Phil, or how you pronounce his name, is in Boston with Schultz, and he's got a lot of that like mechanical engineer knowledge as well. And so that's a smart band. So
Yeah.
I'm in a dumb band.
All right, Mike. I've got money on you on this question, Mike. You got to know this one, dude. Petra's 1981 album bears the same title as this 1978 Black Sabbath release.
Mike.
Never Say Die.
Did you know that, Jamie?
I do now, but that wouldn't have been like an immediate thing. So
All right. Good job, Mike. Joe, you owe me $100.
my Petra connection is Petra. I sang backgrounds on the Unseen Power record and the Jekyll and Hyde record. But the thing is, Jim Cooper was a keyboard player for them for a while. I went to high school with him.
Oh.
Yeah, and my little thing was with Jim Cooper and stuff, and Jody Davis from Newsboys. We were all in this like little circle of Indiana. So that's my trivia for that.
I didn't know that. Very cool,
Yeah.
Jamie.
I was a big Jody Davis fan. I used to love Newsboys so much.
Yeah.
I mean, super into him at one point.
I'm
Jody
pretty sure
Davis.
Jody still has a scar on the back of his foot from where he cut it on our sofa, like when he was like 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like had one of those like 70s things that had the like little studs on the end and started to come off. And I think his foot hit it. It bled. I remember that. Yeah.
Considered one of the greatest rock songs of all time, this 7-minute, 55-second epic was also the subject of copyright infringement controversy with Spirit's 1968 instrumental Taurus.
Jamie.
Stairway to Heaven.
Although their 1971 single, God Gave Rock and Roll to You, was covered by both Petra and Kiss, they are perhaps best known for encouraging
Mike.
one to hold your head up.
Mike.
Argent.
All right. So let's see here. Jamie versus everybody else. Jamie has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. That was close, guys. So Jamie 6, everyone else 4 on that one. So for kicks and grins, do we want to do some Guardian Jamie Rowe trivia?
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
versus
kind of fun. I
Jamie?
want to do it.
That should
I'm
be
actually
Jamie
curious.
versus all of us, though. Oh, well,
No,
Rex,
it's-
you might have to. Jamie
Rex.
has to take 3 of us on, apparently.
How about Rex get in the game and I'll be the judge?
There you go.
Okay, Rex, you
Oh,
want to
my.
do that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So Mike, you watch for hands.
Yep.
Is that like some Norwegian guy's gonna be jumping in? Hands. Watch for hands. He's
Hans Gruber.
Hans.
here.
All right, so I've already accidentally spilled the beans on this first question's answer. Here we go. Everybody get ready. On July 1st, 2016, Jamie Rowe overmarried. What is the first name of Jamie's sweetie?
Rex.
Amber.
Good job, Rick.
Is it creepy that Rex got that first or no?
Well, Jamie, and I know you're busy, but I really loved all those when you would do Facebook Live stuff.
We're gonna start those up again. 'Cause Amber, Amber doesn't like necessarily want to jump, but she enjoys doing those with me, and that's really fun. Yeah.
Well, it's just cool. Like, I mean, I don't want you to think I'm weird, but like, I mean, like you like Guardian and you and all these other bands. I mean, it's hard to like, not intentionally, but you're like our heroes, like, and I know you're just people like us, but like, then you get to see people like you and that just in a normal environment. And it's just so cool. Like, you can just relate and just like, hey, they're just like us. They're,
I think I get what you're saying. I think
what I'm saying. Like,
the only difference between me and anybody else in this conversation is I was part of a band that had a machine behind it that could be the town crier around the world for us. I mean, that's the only difference.
Right.
I mean, so yeah, it's like, dude, I stress out about the IRS just like anybody else. I got a stupid, $600 power bill last month because it's so hot.
Yeah,
that's my life, man.
You turn red just like all of us.
I did, man. It's like, I don't know if we discussed this though. I think I'm having a slight allergic reaction to some Chinese food, so that's why I'm so red.
Yeah,
I'm not like
broccoli.
I'm like a red Hulk.
But so it just was so cool to be like, oh, okay, Jamie's doing this, or you talk a little bit about work or whatever, you were doing this at work, or I'm playing this little thing on the guitar, and just or you would talk about Kiss or whatever sometimes, or just bands. I mean, it's just like, oh, this is cool. You're kind of hanging out with your a guy you like and stuff. So, and that is it's really cool to do that stuff.
I think that's weird for me to hear that about myself, but I get that. I mean, to an extent, stuff like that. I just, it's so funny because I hear people, they'll introduce themselves like, hey, do you know me? It's like, yeah, dude, we talk on Facebook. I know who you are.
Yeah. Right.
So
right.
Anyway.
Speaking of Jamie and his bout with beef and broccoli, do y'all remember the skit on Saturday Night Live, Chopping Broccoli?
It was literally running in my head right now. Dana Carvey, chopping broccoli. She's my lady.
No, I usually carve that time out for Bible study, so I never watch those sinful shows.
Right.
I guess I'm just holier than you guys.
Laying it on thick, Jamie Rowe, laying it on thick. Okay. All right, good job, Rex. So here we go. Question number 2. Everybody versus Jamie. Mike's the judge. Jamie has a co-writing credit on all of the following Guardian songs except A, Let It Roll, B, Time Stands Still, C, Your Love,
Jamie.
D, The Lion's Den.
Tony was the only writer on Time Stands Still. Yes.
All right. I know that was a tough one.
Actually, I wasn't sure, to be honest. Like I don't remember what I wrote on Let It Roll. I'm guessing it's probably a lyric thing and melody. Usually I would write melodies for the songs, but I can't tell you what I wrote on that song.
Jamie put the punctuation. He put the period at the end of Let It Roll.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Who is the sister Guardian speaks of on track 9 of Miracle Mine?
Jamie.
Wisdom. Sister Wisdom.
Sister Wisdom. Here we go. Which famous artist / producer did Guardian co-write with for the Buzz and Bottle Rocket albums?
Rex.
Rex is handling it first.
Steve Taylor.
Very good, Rex. Coming in hot. Steve Taylor. Good job, Rex. So here we go. Which Striper album did Guardian cover as a tribute to the band and its title?
Ooh.
Rex handles that first.
That was Rex by a hair there.
The Yellow and Black Attack.
And what was the title, Rex?
What was
this? I do know.
I just played a song from it today.
No, that's not it.
But I can't. Yeah, I'm having a brain fart right now. I'm sorry, Jamie. Take it away.
The yellow and black attack is back.
Yes. Yeah.
That was super close between you and Joel, by the way. I mean, it was like
So, Mike, who do we give the point to? go ahead and give it to Rex?
Yeah, well, you asked what album was covered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
is the album that was covered.
Okay.
I think Rex.
Yeah.
Rex is kicking some tush here. It's 3-2, Rex to Jamie.
Sexy Rexy.
All right, here we go. One could expect to find the title of this indie 1997 Guardian release on a Chef Boyardee can.
Oh, Jamie beat me.
Bite-sized meat pies.
Delicious bite-sized meat
Yes.
pies.
And that does have some really good quality live songs on that, Jamie.
that was from
How did that come about?
That was a board straight off the board from mostly from our Australian tour.
Mhm.
And yeah, actually, I mean, so what you see is what you get. There's no overdubs or anything. That's a real, true, quote unquote bootleg. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Okay.
that was legit, man.
It's a real meaty album.
Yes.
Meaty. Meaty.
You have some okra with it. It's meaty okra.
Some beef and broccoli.
Yes. Never
Soup
again.
and broccoli.
Here we go. I love this album, by the way. On Tempest's 1989 Eye of the Storm album, what did Johnny warn us not to tell Mama in the song Goodbye?
Jamie,
Don't tell Mama I'm coming home. Tell her that I'm sorry, but I'm alone. That's probably the first Tempest thing I've sang in like decades.
So, Jamie, I got to share this with you. I had a friend. He had a local magazine, and he did it very well. It's very well done. It was called Crosswalk, and my friend he did everything in there. Big fan of the whole, just like we are. But whenever he first joined Guardian,
Mhm.
I just remember he and his wife saying, like whenever you did Fire in Love with the band, I remember them saying, man, we wish Jamie would have brought that one Goodbye, that song. They said, oh, that would have been so cool if he would have redone that with Guardian, just because it kind of fits the motif, the band.
Yeah.
Anyway, that cool song.
You know
Love
what?
that song Goodbye, man.
The guy on the very first, on the Fire and Love tour stuff, there was talk for some reason, Dave and Tony had talked about wanting to do that one song, All for One, off the Tempest Eye of the Storm record. But they thought where he goes, it sounds cool, but then that intro thing you guys got all weird, but dun, 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 where you get like double time stuff, which is cool, but we never did any of that. But, I remember, Tony didn't want me, like he didn't want to hurt my feelings when I auditioned. He discouraged me from auditioning because he didn't like the band. And I remember, and this is nothing weird because those guys are good friends and stuff too, but I remember when Dino told like Jim Laverde and like Ray Pera that I was the singer for Guardian, they laughed. You know what I mean? But because all they'd heard was Tempest, you know what I mean? So that was,
Man, I loved it. I love Tempest.
Yeah, if I may ask, Jamie, did
go ahead.
Tempest end and then you went to audition for Guardian, or was Tempest?
No, it kind of fell apart, man. It's like I seriously can't come up with a point where like there was no. I mean, we were so backwards in general, just functioning as a unit, in anyway. But I remember, when I lived in Pennsylvania, where Pure Metal Records was at the time I joined Guardian, and like they moved us up there because one, my brother was in the band, and the Ray Nenow, to his credit, said, I want some accountability in this band. I want to see some spiritual growth. He just said, guys, I want to year your life. So he moved us up there, and we were, going to get spiritually plugged in, work on our craft and stuff like that. And then I think we made it 2 weeks and Mick met some girl and like left. So I was still there by myself and I didn't really have a gig and stuff. And then the White Cross guys came on tour and stayed. And I remember Rex and the drummer at the time, I forget what his name was, Michael something. It wasn't Fian. It was the other guy said, yeah, Guardian's looking for a new singer. And I'd heard that they'd broken up. And so I didn't know about that and stuff. And Tony had moved. I lost his number. So I called Doug Van Pelt and asked him, hey, I heard Guardian's looking for a singer. I'd like to audition. And he gave me Bach's phone number. So that was that whole thing. But no, dude, there was really no functioning Tempest at the time. But I can't, other than maybe when Mick just left, maybe that's the defining thing. But it was like, man, I mean, give you an idea of a typical Tempest, like towards the end, they're like, it'd be like, okay, we have a show somewhere and this to be blunt, okay, they paid such and such deposit, let's just say $250. Okay, my brother would pocket that and then borrow a guitar. I don't think he even owned a guitar, and like go play the show with no rehearsal. And that was just the mindset of that band. And so that's why it's like, it was, I don't know how we functioned at all. So anyway, but then the good news is when I joined Guardian, those guys, like I said, those guys were almost, all of them were almost 10 years older than me. So I had these great role models and mentors in my life. So that was really good for me at 20 years old, man. Really good. So.
Do you ever talk to, I remember Darren Lee, I think was your bassist in Tempest. Do you ever talk to those guys at all?
I haven't seen any of those guys. I think the last time I saw Darren was 92 and everything. I'm not sure. Darren was a great guy. I don't know anything, I know Dwayne Monk had played on the first record and stuff. I actually talked to his brother maybe a year ago, but I really, and Bobby, who was the drummer on the Eye of the Storm record, he passed away. He had like an aneurysm or something back in the day and he passed away, but I don't really keep in touch with anybody from that era.
Was that Bobby Andrews?
Yes.
I'm just trying to recall these names.
No, he's Bobby Andrew Petty was his name, so but he went by Bobby Andrews, yeah.
According to Guardian's 1991 album, what are the two extremes we live between?
Jamie.
Well, Rex knows this. They should give to him. It's Fire and Love. Obviously, knows
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
From 2000 to 2014, Jamie has predominantly released albums with this band via Kibble Records.
Rex.
actually, Rex's hand went first.
AdrianGale.
True story.
And
Love
if
that
people have
band.
never heard that band, they need to.
Yes.
ASAP.
Buy
on the-
buy all the albums. You will not be disappointed.
You know what?
Except for one.
The plan was
Joking.
the plan was for me to, before I decided to drop some weight, I was going to get bigger, and we're going to call the band Adrian Whale, and it was just going to be,
Man, you guys would have gone so far too. I
Oh,
don't
of
know why.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, they just released a double disc with
Yes.
a lot of B-sides. And
Yes.
I picked that up.
Yes. That
I
is
thought you're playing on the double disc. If you would have gained weight, I thought you were making a joke there. My bad.
No,
Yeah, double disc with.
it just got released like a few months ago, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, the guy who runs that label, John Kibble, I still like we're friends, what I mean? So I talk about, and like I said, I don't know what Vic is doing. Vic's kind of checked out a little bit, but man, I loved all those people. I really did.
So, there was a local band that my little band, when I was in a band that we used to open up for, they were called Bombay Black.
Yeah.
They were on Kibble Records. I grew
Yeah.
up with those guys. They're from my
Oh, so Eric and Ty?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
Those
Showing
are
up.
great guys. Yeah. Ty Sims.
This Jamie Rowe single
I do.
shares the same title as his 2019 solo album.
Jamie. Or
This is home. This is not,
Jamie, yeah.
I need to not participate in this because I know these. You know what I mean?
Well,
Did
and I
Jamie
want to
answer that? Who answered that one?
Yeah, Jamie did.
Jeremy.
But I want to go back to what Jeremy said too about that double best of album that they just released of AdrianGale, Midnight Blue. That is a really
Yeah.
good version of that Lou Gramm song. I like that a lot.
Have I told you guys the story about that?
No,
Did I tell you about this? Okay. I think the record was Reprogram we made, and we were finished with it. And I literally was going to go to the airport in a few hours. And somebody had the idea. It's like, hey, we record a one-off for that melodicrock.com site.
Yeah.
And they decided we should do Midnight Blue. But the thing is, there was no track, and I was getting ready to go to the airport. So we put the CD on, and I sang along to the CD. So the very first thing that thing was recorded was the vocals. Then they added the music later.
Wow.
So that is like unheard of process, and it totally worked. That's great, But like when the finished product was heard, I'd never heard it until I got a copy of the mixed song. Had no idea what it would sound like or anything. So
Well, that's awesome, Jamie.
Yeah.
It
Cool
is.
story.
All right, guys. Last one for the Guardian Jamie Rowe trivia. Bonus question. I've already given the answer. The motto of Jamie Rowe's "This Is Home" album and the website.
I give up. You got it. Take it.
Rex.
It's 2 shots of country, 3 shots of rock, and something about pop is in there too, I
Shake
think.
it up and add a little splash of pop.
Yeah.
Then
All right.
I'm a rebel child, riding fast with no brakes. I'm a pocket full of trouble, making fatal mistakes. I'm the chief of sinners, I'm a hell of a time. The walking, talking reason to lead night.
Let's get into some important stuff here. Jamie,
Yeah.
Calamity Kills.
Yeah.
I've seen on your Facebook page there's a release date for Sinners Welcome, September the 2nd, 2022. Tell us about Calamity Kills, buddy.
Okay, well, and I think we've discussed a little bit this before, so I'm going to rehash. But I think this Calamity Kills is still my solo project. It's still just me doing my thing and songwriting and everything, and doing it almost the exact same way I did like the This Is Home record. But when I listen to it, it doesn't sound like solo music to me. It sounds like band music. And like I said, and I'm just not interested. And I really can't, just because of the way my life is and stuff like that. I couldn't really have another band or at this point. I can't. I would need, if I wanted to, Amber and I are kind of homebodies. We spend most of our time just together and everything like that. And if I were to say, hey, honey, I'm going to go rehearse for 4 hours, 3 days a week, probably wouldn't fly. So, but anyway, but I still burn to write and record music. And I've talked to Joel about this too. And to be fair, I was like, I want to have a revolving door of musicians and stuff, to play. And I'm really 98% leaning towards this, is having almost like a costume masked band. Like you don't know who it is because, one night, you never know. It could be Tony Palacios playing guitar. The next night it could be Jamie Perrineau. The next night it could be Ace Vaughn Johnson from LA Guns. You never know. I've talked to certain drummers that are in this conversation right now. We talked about this, but basically I want to, and because like I said, I'm 52 and I've done a lot of stuff I want to do. This is the one thing that I've never really gotten to do. I've never really got to embrace the whole theatrical rock thing. And I would really like to do it. And the music and stuff, and Joel, I think you'd say this, you've heard the track and stuff, it kind of lends itself to that whole vibe. Just a little bit, just a little over the top and, and not like, it's not like edgy enough where, it's hard to swallow. It's still commercial, goes down good and stuff, but it's got some production elements that, you wouldn't necessarily expect from me. And I'm really excited about it. I love the name Calamity Kills because the truth is, everybody wants peace in their life and calamity does kill. And so it's a statement as well as a title. I just think the phrase sounds cool. And I like it. And so when I did the 2K thing and some made a logo and everything like that, but basically, without God, life is calamity. And so Calamity Kills. That's it. I like industrial music a lot. Like one of my favorite bands and stuff. And I'm really 20 years behind. I love Ramstein. I love it. I love it stuff. So I'm elementing a lot of that production element into my stuff. But obviously, I don't sing like this, I still sing like a bluesy rock singer, and that's my strength. So I'm going to keep doing that. But I've also decided to, and here I am going against it, is to kind of let the project speak for itself. I mean? I realize I don't have to answer every question. Well, what's this song about? What do you think it's about? You know what I mean? Kind of taking that approach and stuff like that. Let people kind of make it more theirs instead of me telling them what they're listening to. That's a goal. I don't know if it's going to succeed, but that's a goal. You know what I mean? I also, stuff like that, you guys obviously know we're president. I'm a believer. I believe in Jesus. Nothing is going to change that. But man, especially through photography and stuff lately, I get surrounded by people who don't think like me, who don't believe the same things I do. And when you surround yourself with that and get out of that bubble, you really see, we're supposed to be, salt and light in this world, and we have hope and you wouldn't necessarily know that from looking at Christian culture. So I'd like to do something a little different. I want to play for everybody, and I want to do it great. And when they ask, and the time comes, yeah, I believe in Jesus. That's how I live too. You know, what do you guys think about that? Any comments, questions? Any?
No, I think that's great.
Yeah, and I just like the whole. I've personally never really cared for the term Christian music. I kind of would say faith-based or whatever, and I like it when people say, well, we're not really a Christian band, but we're a band made up of Christians, and just try not to beat people over the head with that, because I think that term just turns people off immediately, and you're going to lose receptiveness to people if you just throw that out there anyway. And so,
you know what? Here's the thing. I'm a little too honest to be in Christian music. And that is a pointed statement on purpose. You know what I mean? It's like I can listen to K-Love or the message on Sirius XM, and it sounds like an edited version of real life. You know, it's like, dude, look at the Psalms, man. David was depressed. He was bummed. Life was not peachy cream and cherry all the time. You know what I mean? And life. Within Christian music, you tend to have to paint with the same three colors. If you decide to divorce yourself of that, and so you have a whole color set, 18 to 16 colors. You can crayons you can use. You know what I mean? I want to embrace that. So
well, even on your last album, Jamie, what I say about you is you're just real and honest with your lyrics.
But see, isn't that crazy? Why should that even be an issue?
Yeah.
That should just be the norm.
You're exactly right.
You know what? Like and sorry, Kent, if this is not cool for the thing, but I wrote a song like "Kissing on You." Guess what, man? I'm married to my wife. We have a bedroom. Things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie,
So
no, Jamie, I totally get you, and I can't listen to K-Love. I can't do any of that.
I can't either
because I am totally. I'm totally on board with you.
But see, hell, I get this. Here's what's crazy. These days, I can't. In the 80s and 90s, I could. I don't know why and stuff like that. I don't know if it's just the culture change, stuff like that, but it just seems like people were writing more from the heart rather than writing to make sure it gets played.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And that's just me. That's my personal opinion. That's not fact.
So a couple things, like Rex said, and like we've done on this block party, I don't. In my personal life, I don't believe in Christian rock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in Christian metal. I believe music of all genres is a gift from the Father of the heavenly lights.
I agree.
And it's from him, and I choose to honor him with that. And like you're saying, like an artist, you can paint a beautiful painting, meaning a song about you and Miss Amber,
mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to say the Lord's name in there. It's, that your marriage is based upon, it's a gift from him. I get it. I get it. It's life, because life is a gift from the author of life.
Mm-hmm.
I only say Christian rock and stuff like that as a point of reference for viewers,
for people who have redemption in their lives that create art. Yeah.
Right.
Self-sabotaging brother trucker for sure. Didn't want to need on the way. I was offered the cure. I was thirsty. You gave me a drink. Ain't no mind in what haters think. Smack talking church folk causing a sting. Losing their minds when you show me I'm wanted. Sinners welcome. I am wanted. Sinners welcome. Seriously.
Let me tell you something. So,
Yes, Michael.
Jamie, I'm a songwriter,
Mhm.
and I recently wrote a song, and it's talking about the devil. And there's a line in that song that says, "He can take his BS and go straight back to hell."
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you might imagine I've been somewhat reluctant to put that song out there. I'm a pastor, by the way, so
Awesome.
I'm a little reluctant to really put that song out there for
But here's the thing, though, Michael. Is
consumption, but
if you were doing it just to shock, then
No,
it
and I'm
probably, it
not.
probably wouldn't be cool. But if you're doing it to
Yeah.
express and tell the
Yeah.
full story, man, I
Yeah.
think that's that honesty, man. I think it's worth something, man.
yeah, yeah. And the thing is, I'm not going to change it because it works well for the song, and it's exactly what I wanted to say.
Mhm.
So, but
I wrote a song on my solo record called "Jesus Is the Way,"
yeah,
and I kind of stated how I view stuff. And to be fair, I did take out some lyrics in that I realized once I was listening to it, like, okay, is this something I really want to say, or is this me taking a shot and
right.
being like being a jerk? And so I changed the lyric, and it's like funny. It's like that song still ruffles certain people the wrong way,
Mm.
but probably more than anything on that record and stuff like that, I get comments from people like, dude, you said exactly what I feel. And that was validating to me. That felt really good.
I remember the other thing I was going to say, and that's this. And I'm going to use the term Christian rock just as a point of reference.
I get it.
The reason, and I listen to, as we would say, mainstream and Christian rock and metal, but predominantly I listen to bands that project a Christ-centric worldview. And I'm not talking about Amish, meaning I'm not talking about Leave It to Beaver stuff. I'm talking about bands like Guardian and Wright and all the people behind Jeremy's wall there. The reason why I opt to listen to that the majority of the time is because music greatly affects me. I love music.
Mhm.
And the lyrics, I'm one of those people that lyrics can affect.
Mhm.
And I love the music of, say, Metallica. I love that music. But after a while, I get a little bit depressed sometimes if I listen to too much of it. So I kind of opt for some deliverance, and
I understand. Hold on, let me check with Matt. You going on a moment, Judas?
Yeah.
Okay.
does that make sense, guys?
Now look at it. All right,
Yeah.
there you go.
Did
Right,
my
good morning.
hair.
How you doing?
All right, I'll be over there in a minute.
But
Sorry, I
that's
just
why
had
I'm
music playing in the
thankful
background.
for bands such as Guardian, Deliverance, you name it, because it helps me kind of stay on track with my walk.
Certain things that we want to make black and white aren't necessarily all black and white. I run into this with my photography. I shoot a lot of models, and some of those models have OnlyFans site, you know what I mean? And so, I'm convicted and stuff like, okay, let's not shoot that. I mean, everything like that. They don't hire me for that, but I know they do that and stuff. Like, hey, can we take some of this? Like, yeah, I'm not the guy for that. So I understand and stuff, but there's a fine line. People would say, well, why are you shooting a model in the first place? Well, I don't say, I see the beauty in it, but there's a fine line. I'm always looking, is that appropriate? And so I'm always self-examining that. So I understand with music, it's the same thing. Certain things that affect you may not affect me. And I'm the same way with my photography, but I'm always trying to think stuff like that. I take that thing about, the millstone around your brother's neck pretty serious. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, I kind of get a kick out of just telling the truth and ripping the Band-Aid off a lot of times for people. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
anyway, I really have no
Jesus told
point.
the truth. But Jamie, before we want to be respectful of your time, Calamity Kills, the date of September 2nd of 2022. Now, is that for the single Sinner's Welcome, or is the complete album?
No, I don't have the record made yet and stuff. That's going to be a while. And as you guys saw, I started Sinner's Welcome in February,
Mhm.
and I didn't get it finished till last month. And the thing is, because like I said, it's getting people on board, and like Perino is a great collaborator with me on this, and he believes in it. So the thing is, in order to do this, he's had to do it on his spare time. And so it's taken a little bit of time. And we got Mark Lonsway did the mix. Is great. He's a Warner Chappell production music guy here in Nashville, does music and or movies and theater and stuff like that. But we got some good stuff. And I got Max Lang playing drums, who plays for the American Idol guy, Hunter Metz, and everything. So I got some guys under it, but it took a while to get there. The point is, that's how long it takes without funding. If we can get this thing funded through Kickstarter, then we can knock it out in a month. You know what I mean? And that's the plan. A lot of people get excited about this. Hey, we're doing a Kickstarter, guys. I'm going to tell you the fact, and this is not false humility or something like that. I am always blown away when people participate, because my default mode is to think that people are not going to. You know what I mean? So it's like I get really stoked, and that's why I like the all or nothing, because it's like you either want it or you don't. You know what I mean? So I'm launching this Kickstarter, but between you and me, all 4 of us, 5 of us here, I'm scared to death, that it's going to fail. So
Well, Jamie, in order to help that Kickstarter out, what's the address for that? So our
we don't know yet. Kickstarter.com, type in Calamity Kills. And it's funny because I've got stuff I've got to do in the next week. It's September 2nd. And today when we're recording this, it's July 30th. I've got a video to make. I've got to set things up and everything like that. So I've got a lot of work here to do and stuff, but I'm going to go for it.
Are you able to record at your home there, or do you?
But see, I can, but here's, and this is going to sound really like stupid, but it's like, I'm used to a certain level of production quality that I want to keep, you know what I mean? I don't want to be like, I don't want to be one of those bands where you listen to it, it sounds like a demo of their record 10 years ago. I don't want to be that guy. So it's actually worth it to me to do it right and get it done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could record vocals here, no problem, but I wouldn't want to track guitars and everything like that. I'd want to have people who know what they're doing do it.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, I will. Is there anything else that you'd like for us to know about Calamity Kills?
No, not really. So because to be honest, like I said, I'm going to let it kind of explain itself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like I said, it may be a whole lot about nothing. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm excited about it. I'm stoked, and I do think. And Joel, what do you think, man? Tell the truth.
Oh, the truth,
because you've heard the song.
I think it's good because you kind of talked about the industrial part of it. There's a little bit of hint at that, but your vocals are totally your vocals, where it sounds like you. You're not trying to sound like something else. It's a straight ahead rock song. Is just the easiest way I could put it. It's definitely going to be up the alley of anybody that's a fan of your previous music or AdrianGale. They're not gonna feel like, oh, this is way out like country music might have been. This is going to be up the alley. They're going to enjoy it. I can guarantee it.
My whole thing is I like to make music that I want to listen to. You know what I mean? And instead of trying to cater my music to an audience, I'd rather try to find the audience who likes what I do. That keeps things real. Unfortunately, it was a lot easier when I had, like I said, I had a label pouring a lot of promotion and a staff of people. You don't realize that, yeah, cool. We had, 12 number ones with Guardian at Christian radio. You don't realize you had a staff of people that was their jobs to get us played on the radio. You know what I mean? I don't have that nowadays. You're looking at the marketing department right here. You know what I mean?
I was an angry soul. I was a bitter man. Always gambling with a losing hand. You called out to me, invited me to dine. Said follow me and leave it all behind. I was thirsty, you gave me drink. Ain't no mind in what haters think. Smack talking shuffle, causing a stink. Losing their minds 'cause you chose me. I want it. Sinners welcome. I am wanted. Sinners welcome.
Is the record written? Are the songs written, or
Yes.
the one single?
No. I've actually got more than enough. I'm going to make an 11-song record. I could make a 20-song record at this point of songs I really think are good.
Well, I got an idea.
Yes, Michael.
Do your 11 songs for the album, and then do the other ones and just send them to us.
Sure. Just for you guys, just a Area 312 exclusive.
Yeah.
Area 312 records. No, it's cool, man. It's like I said, you guys are here because of what I've done in the past, and it's totally cool. And like I said, I'm one of those guys that gets it, So the whole fact that you guys even want to talk to me at this point, is pretty amazing. And I hope to, if I would have died yesterday, it would have really been cool to have had an impact like Michael Bloodgood has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something to aspire to, and it's good to examine. So I'm blessed more than I should be. And like I said, I laugh a lot and stuff like that. But guys, it's like, dude, I truly am an artist. Like, I'm the type that will write a song and tell you guys how much I love it. Then before I go to bed tonight, I'm sitting thinking, man, I suck and I really need to stop doing this. You know what I mean? So it's a concept. That's the artist in me that does that. So do you agree that I suck? And
No. Like, we know what the music that you've made in the past that we've loved, you know, and for what it is and the style that it is and all that. But, you know, you made This Is Home, which was a different album, really. And I love that album.
Thank you.
I think it's great. You know, now I'm pretty diverse in my musical taste. So, you know, I've got room for that. You know, maybe some people aren't, I don't know. But for me, I mean, I still think it was great music just because, you know, it wasn't the hardest rockin' thing out there.
No,
it doesn't matter. It was still great music. So.
It was a true reflection of where I was at the time of recording it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I just, these days, like you know, it wasn't a thing where one day I said like, hey, I'm going to stop going down the country road. But I can tell you one thing, the pandemic had a lot to do with it because I was listening to Christian country radio. I remember hearing this song, and I don't mind saying it because I actually name check it in one of my songs. And the lyric, it's a song called Good Time by this guy, Nico Moon. They're gonna have a good time. It's all bouncing around hoppy. And I was sitting there thinking, we're in the middle of a pandemic. People are dying. People are locked in their house, and we're talking about having a good time. It just seems so tone deaf that it turned me off. And I turned the radio off that day, and I never turned it back on. And I started to go back and listen to like Cheap Trick and like classic old Van Halen, stuff like that. And then and somewhere along the way, I got the Ramstein bug. You know what I mean? So it's like I still listen, but the thing is, if I use Van Halen as a reference all the time, and I know Eddie's not with us anymore, I can't do this, but you know, if I heard a Van Halen record and Eddie didn't bring it guitar wise, I'd be really disappointed. And God gave me a good rock blues voice. I need to use it, you know?
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
That's all I
got an idea for your Kickstarter campaign, Jamie, and I'm being dead serious.
Rabobank.
You could have some what?
Rabobank.
No. You could have like a stretch goal where you include an extra song or something. If you get to a certain level, you'd add another song.
I would do that by default, no matter what. But just like I said, I'm not the type that's convinced I'm going to get there. So one step at a time.
Well, you
But
remember what happened. Now we remember what happened with your last Kickstarter.
I know, but this is that's 2019. This is a different
Yeah.
day, man. Things, you know, like I said, guys, like I said, we're older. You know, dude, I got a mortgage. I got a bills. The people who listen to me do too, man. But maybe not maybe the last thing, you know, if they got to decide, hey, I want to promote this, work on this record, or I got to buy groceries, go buy your groceries, man. You know, that's just reality.
But
you know?
I think it'll. I'm positive about it, Jamie. I think it's going to be a good campaign.
You know, I'm always hopeful, but like I said, I never assume anything at this point. So, but if I get the opportunity, you better believe I'm going to maximize it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm at a point I don't care about making money off music at all. So if there's $2 generated, $2 that's going to go towards that record. You know.
Yeah. We will certainly do what we can to help.
Yeah, we'll post it on our Facebook page when it goes live, Jamie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys.
So, friends, we do want to thank our friend, our brother, somebody we love and respect, Jamie Rowe. Thank you so much, Jamie, for joining us on this block party, spending some time. And also want to thank our brother, Jeremy Brown from Torrential Riff. Want to thank our brother, Joel Walker from Imaginary Music. And we want to thank you, friends, for watching. And we will post Jamie's links to his Kickstarter, to his Facebook page if he doesn't have his Kickstarter up yet. Like Jamie said, today is July the 30th. This will be airing probably August the 31st. I'm going to think that would be the date when this airs. And we will have Jamie's links in the description, as well as Jeremy's to Torrential Riff and Joel's for Imaginary Music. So with that said, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Mike, did you have scripture closeout today?
I do. I have a scripture that, well, it kind of guides my life, and it also explains why I lost at trivia today. So it's James 1:19, and it says, "Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger." So I while we were doing trivia, I was just practicing that verse.
And see, I wasn't slow to speak, so I'm doomed.
All right. Guys, we'll sign off, but please stick around for just one more moment. And friends, thank you so much for watching. Everybody take care. Look for Calamity Kills from Jamie Rowe. Take care, everybody.
I gave rock and roll to you. Gave rock and roll to you. Put it in the soul of everyone.
That's the broccoli beef talking.
It is.